So last night I participated in my very first distance group healing session with Tantric healing, and it was phenomenal. This was led by Wayne from Energy Alchemy. I didn't know what to expect. I had so many nerves, and they're all linked to my fear of it being vulnerable. And that's an intention I set for this session, to release a lot of my pride and ego and fear around being vulnerable. It doesn't serve me anymore, so I wanted to get some work done and try to help myself release this. And did it work? I definitely went to bed right after I kind of released all of that energy. It happened pretty fast. So I definitely don't think I was awake for the full session because I went to sleep. And of course, by going to sleep, I missed out on the live afterwards. So I regret that. Wayne did a wonderful job. I wish I would have taken myself off of mute, but I was like, there was a lot of sounds going on. It was real loud in here. So I just didn't stop. I didn't think to stop. And he had mentioned it a few times, like, take yourself off mute. You can, let your natural sounds just emit. And I was like, these natural sounds is sounding real natural. So I was like, let me not disturb these other good people's session with how loud I'm being. But I will say that was quite the release. The first session I've ever had of Tantric healing, it was very hard to breathe for me. I had to really work through that. And this one, I was like, but what I will say about the actual session itself, especially in the group setting, is that a portal opened for me, and that was where I was able to release a lot of fear, anxiety, pain, old trauma. It really did come up and come out and go into, this portal and be sent away from me. And I'm grateful for that. That's one thing that I was intentionally focused on having happen. I appreciate my ancestors surrounding me during this entire process. They were definitely present in helping me stay grounded while I released a lot of things that were still attached to me. So I definitely am ready for the next group session. I am so grateful that this group session was an option, and that it was an option that was offered distance, because I don't live in Nashville, so I couldn't have arrived, in person to a session like this, short notice. So I'm so happy that he offered this as a distance option, and as many people participated as they did, it was powerful. I also needed this to help me with my fear around going. I had a lot of anxiety about being vulnerable on his table in person, because I am going in person, because I prefer to do this type of work in person. But the distance did enough, and I really didn't know how that would go. I did not have any real expectation or understanding. So when it went well, I was like, I could have done this distance and it would have been fine. Okay. And I will say that if you are apprehensive about working with Wayne for any reason, book those distance sessions. I think that's where a lot of my anxiety kind of was amplified, came into this idea that I couldn't do it distance. It wouldn't be enough. And that just was not true. That was not true. And that's what this session proved to me. And that's why I wanted to participate in this group session, to see, how do I respond to this distance healing? And baby, I responded very well. And it shocked the hell out of me. So I will suggest to anyone who's worried or apprehensive, just to do it distance and see how you feel. Because you never know.